Time for an American Family News Update. I'm Bronson Woodruff. Tomorrow is the first presidential debate between President Biden and former President Donald Trump. Fox's Jeff Paul reports on how each of the candidates are preparing from West Palm Beach, Florida.
A Trump campaign advisor who tells us that the former president is right here at his house in Palm Beach, Mar-a-Lago. As far as what he's doing just the day before this first presidential debate in Georgia, well, they point to what the campaign has already said, that he's keeping up with his daily work schedule, and they point to the stark contrast between what President Biden is doing, saying that President Biden has been hiding for a week. Now, we know that President Biden right now is at Camp David, where he's been working with a bunch of advisors. Biden's team has been engaging in mock debates. President Biden's personal lawyer reportedly playing the role as Trump.
Fox News polling says 3 in 10 voters think debate performance will be extremely important for their November vote, and that most respondents to that poll believe Trump is expected to do better. The overall Fox poll of the election has President Biden ahead of former President Trump by 2 points. WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange returned to his homeland Australia a free man today. He left aboard a charter jet hours after pleading guilty to obtaining and publishing U.S. military secrets in a deal with Justice Department prosecutors. It included a drawn-out legal saga. Assange was accused of receiving and publishing hundreds of thousands of war logs and diplomatic cables that included details of U.S. military wrongdoing in Iraq and in Afghanistan. Incumbent New York Democratic Representative Jamal Bowman became the first member of the Squad to be ousted from Congress on Tuesday. This after he lost to Westchester County Executive George Latimer in a Democratic primary. Fox's Eric Shawn has more.
Well, last night, Democratic voters in Westchester County and part of the Bronx said they are sick of the Squad's leftist political views. That's why they dumped incumbent Congressman Jamal Bowman in favor of a moderate Democrat, George Latimer. AIPAC, the Washington-based pro-Israel lobby, poured a reported $14.5 million into Latimer's coffers to take on Bowman because of Bowman's anti-Israeli rhetoric. Remember that cursing at the rally with far-left firepower Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez at Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders? Last night, he did apologize for repeatedly dropping the F-bomb at that rally, and he also seemed to take a shot at his opponent, who he did not mention by name.
Latimer will face Republican challenger Miriam Fleischer, who lost to Jamal Bowman back in 2022. Wall Street Journal reporter Evan Gershkovich went on trial behind closed doors in Russia today, 15 months after his arrest there on espionage charges that he, his employer, and the U.S. government vehemently deny. Gershkovich is the first Western journalist arrested on espionage charges in post-Soviet Russia. Authorities arrested him when he was on a reporting trip. Russia claims he was gathering secret information for the U.S. The State Department has declared him wrongfully detained, thereby committing the government to assertively seek his release. The Journal has worked diligently to keep the case in the public eye, and the case has become an issue in these months leading up to the U.S. presidential election. The Supreme Court has ruled 6-3 in favor of the Biden administration today. This is in a dispute with Republican-led states over how far the federal government can go to combat controversial social media posts on topics like COVID-19 and election security. Shannon Broom has the details from the Supreme Court.
For the majority, what they say about those states and those individuals, they say the plaintiffs, without any concrete link between their injuries and the defendant's conduct, meaning those social media companies, ask us to conduct a review of the years-long communications between dozens of federal officials across different agencies with different social media platforms about different topics. But this court's standing doctrine prevents us from exercising such general legal oversight of other branches of government. Now, the dissent, which was written by Justice Alito and joined by Thomas and Gorsuch, says this: the officials wielded potent authority when they were talking with those social media groups. Their communications with Facebook, just one of the examples, were virtual demands. And Facebook's quavering responses to those demands show that it felt a strong need to yield.
This case is among several before the court that affect social media companies in the context of free speech. The court laid out standards for when public officials can block their social media followers. That was back in March. And that'll do it for this American Family News Update. Feel free to keep an eye on AFN.net for more news from a Christian perspective. I'm Bronson Woodruff.